Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is the newspaper show and I'm Hina Gambhir. So let's get started and tell you what's making headlines as far as the Times of India this morning is concerned. And today, the big story is about the national capital that Times of India today morning is leading with. If government hospitals are 70% empty, why can't people get beds? That's the question. Concerns over lack of hygiene, staff shortage. This is what Durgesh Nandan Jha has reported. Delhi is battling a surge in COVID-19 cases and there are numerous accounts of people being sent from one hospital to another in search of that elusive bed. This when 7 out of every 10 beds are reserved for COVID-19 patients in Delhi. Government hospitals are lying vacant. Doctors and public health experts believe that this is an outcome of the general perception that government hospitals may not have good infrastructure and hygiene, and shortage of staff could lead to patients being neglected. Rush only for some hospitals, that's the story. 1% beds vacant in LNJP, 89% in GTB, 49% in Rajiv Gandhi Super Speciality, 53% in Deep Chand Bandhu, 87% in Raja Harish Chandra and 100% in Jag Parvesh Chandra. Center-run hospitals have 1,470 beds. Out of these, 84 were occupied and 3,349 beds in private hospitals, excluding 2,000 that are to be added as per Delhi government's order. So that's the big story on the front page. Apart from this, Delhi has recorded 1.5 thousand cases in a day and total is now close to 33,000 in the national capital. Then Arvind Kejriwal to hunt for temporary COVID facilities. This is what has been reported as well. Come Friday, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal will go out and look for facilities, hotels, stadiums and banquet halls that can be converted into temporary hospitals to deal with the rising number of COVID cases in the city. And there is a positive news as well as far as coronavirus is concerned. That's reported on the front page. The number of recovered exceeds active cases for the first time. For the first time since the COVID-19 outbreak surfaced in India, the number of recovered patients has exceeded the total number of cases, with the Health Ministry on Wednesday recording 1.33 lakh active cases, whereas 1.35 lakh people had cured so far. And the ICMR has in total conducted over 50 lakh tests as well. That's another big update that is there on the front page. Then Rajasthan has tightened border after a spike in cases. Rajasthan on Wednesday imposed curbs on the movement of people and vehicles across its border for 7 days after a COVID spike. It recorded 2,500 positive cases in the month of June alone. Then this is an image from Kolkata where you can see priests wearing protective gear and they are performing rituals at a temple in Kolkata. The shrine formally reopens from Saturday. Apart from this, Indian Oil has boosted refinery operations to 83% capacity on demand uptake. Indian Oil has ramped up refinery operations to 83% of capacity as fuel demand more than doubled on easing of corona curbs to allow economic activity to resume. Then S&P Standard & Poor has maintained India's rating for 13th year in a row, and this is clearly a good news for India after Moody's action on India's rating. And then the Supreme Court has told banks to release loans to Amrapali buyers in a bid to generate funds to complete Amrapali's stalled housing projects, in which more than 46,000 buyers have booked flat. The Supreme Court on Wednesday directed banks and financial institutions to disperse the remaining amount to home loans, which could be used for completing the construction work. Then Supreme Court has also put a cap on the rate to be paid by Noida builders for delay. And there is going to be worst recession in 100 years. This is what OECD has predicted. The global economy could see a 6% contraction in 2020 as it faces the most severe recession in nearly 100 years. Then 1.3 thousand crore Choksi Nirav Modi jewels are back. This is what ED has done. Ban on export of hydroxychloroquine has been lifted as well. Then as far as politics is concerned, Rajasthan Congress smells plot against the government ahead of the Rajya Sabha polls. That's another big story here. Then Chauhan audio clip sparks row. Congress's Kamal Nath lashed out at BJP after an alleged audio of Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan went viral, in which he purportedly says that the BJP central leadership had decided that the Congress government in the state must fall. That's another big story. And about COVID-19 as well, there is an update on Chennai on the front page. Chennai's COVID toll found double of that reported. At least 460 people died of COVID-19 in Chennai till June, of which more than double which is more than double the 224 announced by Tamil Nadu's Directorate of Public Health. This is what Pushp Narayan has reported. Then in Maharashtra's Jalgaon, there is a sad story. 4 days after she went missing, an 82-year-old infected woman was found dead on Wednesday in a toilet at a government hospital in Maharashtra's Jalgaon. That's from Maharashtra. And there is an update on the Assam oil blaze as well. Former Assam goalkeeper among 2 killed in oil blaze. A former national level footballer from Assam was among 2 firefighters who got killed while fighting the oil well inferno in Tinsukia district that raged for the 2nd consecutive day on Wednesday. Then government moves to speed up clinical trial process. This is what Surojit Gupta has reported. Indian company on vaccine path. Indian vaccine maker has joined hands with Refna Inc. of the US to make a COVID-19 vaccine in 12 to 18 months. Then roaring success, population of Asiatic lions in India up 29% in just 5 years. That's some good news coming. Wildlife conservationists have something to cheer about as India has recorded 29% increase in the population of Asiatic lions living in Gujarat's Gir forest in the past 5 years, with the population going up from 523 in 2015 to 674 in 2020. And lastly, there was a 100 km/h wind speed and a storm that hit Delhi and NCR, and this is how the situation was at the DND flyway. It uprooted a signage gantry on DND flyway, causing massive traffic jams as well. And lastly, on the front page only, Times Now has interviewed Jasleen Bhalla. Now she is the person whose voice you hear when you make a call to another person these days. Well, she's the voice of the Corona caller tune, and it's an interview with her. And for crores of Indians, Jasleen Bhalla is now a familiar voice. When you dial any number from your phone, you can hear saying coronavirus se aaj pura desh lad raha hai. So this is the voice of Jasleen Bhalla, 40 years old from Delhi, who told Times of India that she was surprised when she first heard her recordings as the caller tune, and she didn't know that it was actually meant for a public campaign. And this is about the Times of India. We are now moving on and let's get you the latest from the Navbharat Times. और यहाँ पर फ्रंट पेज पे जो आज बड़ी खबर है वो कोरोना वायरस के केसेस के बारे में है। पहली बार कोरोना के मरीजों से ज्यादा हुए हैं उसे मात देने वाले। कोरोना से मौत, घर में सभी रोगी, विधायक ने किया संस्कार। ये एक और बड़ी खबर है फ्रंट पेज पर ही। अस्पतालों के बाहर डिस्प्ले बोर्ड देख सकेंगे, खाली बेड और साथ में चार्जेस भी। दिल्ली में एक दिन में सबसे ज्यादा 48 मौतें रिकॉर्ड की गई। पहली बार ECMO पर रही कोरोना मरीज ठीक, और 2 एंजियोप्लास्टी, फिर भी कोरोना पर जीत। गाजियाबाद की 76 साल की एक महिला ने केवल खुद को कोरोना से मुक्त करा लिया, बल्कि अपने वार्ड के दूसरे मरीजों में कॉन्फिडेंस जगाकर उन्हें भी डिप्रेशन से बाहर निकालने में मदद की है। तो ये एक और स्टोरी है फ्रंट पेज पर ही। कोर्ट ने कहा आम्रपाली के खरीदारों को कर्ज का बकाया जारी करे बैंक, बिल्डर को 8% से ज्यादा ब्याज नहीं देना। कोर्ट से आम्रपाली को भी राहत दी गई है। जजों ने कहा कि नोएडा और ग्रेटर नोएडा अथॉरिटी बिल्डर के ऊपर बकाया पर भारी ब्याज नहीं ले सकते। जिन किश्तों की अदायगी में देरी हुई है उसके ब्याज के तौर पर 8% से ज्यादा न लिया जाए। फिर मारे 5 आतंकी। इस साल अब तक 101 आतंकियों को मार गिराया है सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस ने जम्मू और कश्मीर में। ये एक और बड़ी खबर है फ्रंट पेज पर। तेल कुएं की आग बुझाने गए 2 कर्मियों की मौत हो गई है। ये खबर है असम से। और S&P ने 13वें साल भी नहीं बदली देश की रेटिंग। तो ये कुछ अच्छी खबर इकोनॉमी को लेकर आई है S&P की तरफ से। और नस्लवाद की परिभाषा पर ऐतराज, बदलेगा शब्दकोश। और इसी के साथ ही लाइन ऑफ एक्चुअल कंट्रोल पर तनाव खत्म करने को चीन से फिर मीटिंग, जमीनी हालात जस से तस। ये एक और बड़ी खबर है जो फ्रंट पेज पर रिपोर्ट की गई है। We are now moving on and let's get you the latest as far as the Economic Times this morning is concerned. And here it's an update on Unlock 1.0, CIS survey on business activity. That's the big story on the front page. Pent-up demand driving sales, but hurdles remain. Supply side constraints, including labor crunch, inadequate credit holdback, faster reopening. Then Forex reserves closing in on $500 billion mark. Robust foreign fund flows push up kitty. That's another important important story. S&P's rating affirmation may bring some cheer to India. It's a big ray of hope that India has got. Agency retains BBB- rating with a stable outlook on hopes of revival for India after COVID gets over. And next year, they are expecting things to start looking better for India. GDP may shrink 3.7% if no second wave. This is what OECD has said. The lockdown to contain COVID-19 outbreak has taken a heavy toll on India's economy, which could contract 3.7% in the ongoing fiscal year, the OECD has said. And Airport Authority of India has extended contracts at 6 airports till March after Adani seeks more time. So this is about the Economic Times this morning. Let's talk about the Delhi edition of the Times of India. My colleague Kangana is joining us on the broadcast. Kangana, good morning. There are concerns over lack of hygiene and staff shortage in Delhi's hospitals, but also it is being said that in government hospitals, there are 70% of beds which are empty.
Well, that's the news that is making the headlines in the Times of India today, Hina. As you know, there is a shortage of beds that everyone is complaining about. But as a fact, I would like to tell you that 70% of the beds in the government hospital, according to the data that is available on the Corona app of the Delhi government, says that 70% of the beds are available in government hospital. And there are people who are complaining about the fact that they will want to wait for as long as possible to get a bed in a private hospital because they don't believe in the hygienic situation and the staff, and they don't believe that they will get the best of treatment in a government hospital. And which is why these are some of the reasons that the experts are pointing out, that a lot of people are wanting to go and stand in lines in a private hospital, but they don't want to get treated in a government hospital. But I would just like to tell you that I have the figures which says that approximately 4,360 beds in 6 hospitals, which is LNJP, Guru Tegh Bahadur, Rajiv Gandhi Super Speciality, Deep Chand Bandhu, Raja Harish Chandra and Jag Pravesh Chandra. All these hospitals have 4,306 beds available. So this is something we need to inform our viewers, that if they want to get themselves treated and if private hospitals don't have beds, they can definitely go to the government hospitals.
All right. Thank you very much, Kangana, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. In fact, more news from the national capital only. Shutters open after 80 days. Sadar Bazaar breathes again. And there's an important news about the malls in Delhi. As cases rise, decision to open malls, eateries may be revisited in the national capital. That's another important news. We're now moving on to the Mumbai edition of the Times of India. And the big story here is that the Chief Minister's office says can't let economic activity grind to a halt to fight COVID. For more on this, let's go across to my colleague Arunil joining us on the broadcast. Arunil, good morning. What more details can you share with us?
Well, the CM of Maharashtra, Uddhav Thackeray, mentioned about it, saying that economic activity cannot be impacted because of COVID. But he also mentioned about it that the state government of Maharashtra has been making repeated requests to the center to allow local trains in the city of Mumbai to be started so that the load on the BST buses can be reduced to a very large extent. And also the CM Uddhav Thackeray mentioned about it that many of the workers of the BMC, of the police force, as well as people working in hospitals, they stay in satellite cities of Mumbai like Navi Mumbai, Panvel, Thane, Vasai Virar. So for them, getting a BST bus and coming to the mainland city is extremely difficult. It takes a lot of time. But if the railways are starting, it can help them as well. One important point that needs to be mentioned, Hina, is like yesterday the city of Mumbai recorded 97 deaths in a day. That is the single highest day death count by a very big margin, and 149 deaths were recorded in the state of Maharashtra as well. With respect to the number of cases, also more than 3,200 cases were recorded in the state of Maharashtra, which is also a record for the most number of cases recorded. So the cases as well as the death rate is rising at a very exponential rate. However, the Maharashtra government is saying that it is taking all measures. But one important thing that we need to point out is Maharashtra is testing 4,000, around more than 4,200 tests per million population. As compared to it, Tamil Nadu and Rajasthan are testing a lot more. In fact, Rajasthan is testing more than 7,600 per million, and Tamil Nadu is testing more than 18,000. But yet the number of cases in Maharashtra is extremely high, and the number of deaths is really worrisome.
All right, Arunil, thank you very much for the moment for joining us with all of those details. In fact, on the front page only, Times of India is also reporting that how Maharashtra has seen highest number of cases and deaths in a single day. Mumbai has added 97 to the toll. That's the big story on the front page. We're now moving on to the Bengaluru edition of the Times of India, and here the update is there about Karnataka's COVID tally that has crossed 6,000 now. The number of coronavirus cases in Karnataka crossed 6,000 on Wednesday, with 120 cases reported in just one day. Bengaluru, in fact, alone accounted for 42, or 1/3 of the fresh cases that were reported in Karnataka. Then Hassan doctor dies, colleagues blame excessive workload. That's another story here on the front page. And the big story is that Karnataka has banned web classes from LKG to class 5 in all board. Schools are now free to use recorded videos. This is what the government has said. Let's go across to my colleague Deepak Bopanna for more on this. Deepak, good morning. So parents are happy with this new change?
Yes, a big relief. There was, in fact, an online campaign that had begun. There were people who were hitting the streets. They were saying that it was really difficult for, especially the younger kids, to cope up with online classes. Moreover, people in rural areas and also those suffering from connectivity issues probably didn't have Wi-Fi, couldn't afford Wi-Fi at home. All of these categories of students really found it hard to cope up with the online classes. And now it comes as a welcome relief that the government has said no more online classes from LKG to the 5th standard. Pre-recorded videos, of course, can be sent for the benefit of the students. And if any of the schools are even charging for these online classes, the government has said action will be initiated against them. So a decision, of course, will be taken for the classes above 6th, and that's going to come up in the next few days.
All right. Thank you very much, Deepak, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. In fact, there's one more important story from the Bengaluru edition of the Times of India that we want to quickly highlight. Maharashtra's returnees taking detour to skip isolation. This is extremely shocking. Much to the shock of health officials, several passengers from Maharashtra, a red zone, are flying into Kempegowda International Airport via Bengaluru, Hyderabad and Ahmedabad to evade the mandatory 7-day institutional quarantine. This is really shocking because eventually it is being done for the safety of not just the passengers who are returning, but also for the people that they will be meeting after coming from Maharashtra to Karnataka. But now they have found ways to flout this norm. Extremely shocking move there. Moving on, and let's get you the latest from the Chennai edition of the Times of India. Shilpa, my colleague, is joining us for more on this. Shilpa, good morning. What's there in the Times of India's Chennai edition this morning that you can talk to us about?
Well, Hina, one of the main stories that Times of India Chennai edition has reported today is, of course, the passing away of DMK MLA J. Anbadagan. He was a very senior leader of the party. He, of course, died due to COVID-19 yesterday. The hospital, Rela Hospital in Chennai, had put out a statement saying that, he had a lot of comorbidities and other underlying health conditions, and he tested positive for COVID-19, and he was admitted to the hospital on June 2nd. But considering there were other complications, they could not save his life. He was on ventilator support since the time he was admitted. But he's the first legislator in the country to pass away due to COVID-19. He's someone who's known for his, his groundwork. He's someone who's known as the organizer. He organizes all the protests, all the events of the DMK as far as Chennai is concerned. And he's very outspoken as well. He expresses his views, irrespective of whether it is in the party forum or even if it's in the assembly. So it is, of course, a big loss for the DMK. That is one of the big stories that Times of India Chennai edition has reported today.
All right, Shilpa, appreciate you joining us with all of those details. In fact, there's also an update about Tamil Nadu's total number of cases. Remember, Tamil Nadu is the second worst affected state in the country after Maharashtra from COVID-19. TN's highest one-day tally of 1,927 takes count beyond 36,000. 26,000 in just Chennai city. 19,333 patients have been recovered as well. And there's one more interesting story on the front page. Elephantine love, rescuer wills 5 crore assets. Akhtar gives his 6-acre farm to Moti and Rani. Moti and Rani have lived a jumbo-sized life on a 6-acre farm just outside Patna, and now the pair of elephants own the place. In fact, the owner has willed this property worth 5 crore rupees to his 2 giant pets. So that's the big story here on the front page only. We are now moving on to the Kolkata edition of the Times of India. Tamal Saha, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast. Tamal, good morning. Highest single-day toll of 359. New cases now at 10.9 thousand. Okay, we'll just quickly fix that audio and get you more details on this one. Don't hike fee this year. Mamata Banerjee has urged the private schools, government offices to work in 2 shifts from today. That's another story on the front page only. And the number of cases are also rising quite sharply in West Bengal. Highest single-day toll of 359 was reported. We're now moving on to the Times of India's global edition, and let's get you the latest as far as news from around the world is concerned. And the big story is US writes record under lens as more police killings surface. With Trump on their side, some cops say they've been demonized. Then generals back in control in Pakistan as Imran loses popularity. The generals are back in control in Pakistan unofficially, that is. There is now more than a dozen former and current military officials in prominent government roles, such as running the state-owned air carrier and the power regulator and the National Institute of Health, which is leading the nation's pandemic response. 3 of those appointments happened in just last 2 months. So that's the big story here. Then a consulate in Wuhan to reopen soon. This is what the US Embassy has said. Experimental vaccine for Chinese going abroad. China is offering workers at some large state-run companies the option of being inoculated with 2 coronavirus vaccines currently in development. And Israel court strikes down law legalizing settlement homes. That's another story. And lastly, first American woman to spacewalk reaches deepest spot in the ocean. And there was turtle bloom that was witnessed. Australian scientists have determined that there are about 64,000 green turtles, significantly more than thought, waiting to lay eggs on Rain Island, a coral cay near the Great Barrier Reef. And that's the image as well. Let's now move on and get you the latest from the world of sports. My colleague Karishma is joining us on the broadcast. Karishma, good morning. La Liga live again. That's the big story. And apart from this, ICC has extended deadline for tax solution.
Well, yes, good morning. 2 big stories. Firstly, sporting action resumes for all football fans, with La Liga resuming today. There are going to be big matches in La Liga, and most importantly, after a gap of 3 months after Bundesliga, it is now La Liga that is resuming. So that is one good news for all sports fans. And secondly, the ICC tax exemption means that BCCI hosting the 2021 T20 World Cup remains in India, with the deadline being extended to December this year. So that means BCCI has got a reprieve of 6 months to file the tax exemptions and file all the paperwork in tune with the ICC guidelines, and ensure that the 2021 World Cup happens in India. The hosting rights remain with India. Hina.
All right. Thank you very much for the moment for joining us with all of those details, Karishma. We are now moving on to the Delhi Times, and this morning the big story is that Bollywood needs time to return to sets. Maharashtra government has allowed the film industry to resume shoots, but the planning is going to take some time. A virtual collaboration of top musicians to raise awareness on environment. And lastly, disregarding social distancing in Unlock 1.0 might land you in legal trouble. And they have details of the IPC sections that you can be charged with for any kind of violations. 38 people got arrested already for organizing a birthday party. So when you step out, ensure that you have your mask on. With this, it's a wrap. Thank you very much for staying with us here on the Newspaper Show.